YouTube channel right now. And also, of course, obviously, you can listen to us on the radio. Glad to have you along this morning. We'll be talking about a great program that's happening in Stark County, Stark County Probate Court Angel Program. And we have with us the program director, Bruce Stacy. Good morning.
Good morning.
And also program volunteer, Randy Starr.
Good morning.
And, of course, Stark County Probate Court Judge Kurt Warren. How are you, sir?
I'm terrific. Thank you, and good morning.
Yeah, glad to have you guys in. I was saying to Bruce, I don't know how long it's been since I had a chance to chat about the Angel program, but it's such a great program, and it's good to let people out there who may not know about it familiarize themselves with it. So, Bruce, let's talk a little bit about the Angel program. What exactly is this?
Yeah, so we're a division of the Stark County Probate Court. And thanks for the judge for being here today. And, of course, the Probate Court oversees guardianships. And so what we do is we go out and we visit the folks who are under guardianship and make sure that they're doing all right, they're being taken care of, and being a visitor for, a half hour or so. A lot of these folks, they don't get visitors and people to talk to outside of their caregivers. So, we come in, we want to treat them as a person, and we want to visit everybody before there is a problem. You hear a lot about these programs that come in after there's been something reported. And we just want to see everybody, one, because everyone deserves to be seen and be taken care of, but also, just, again, to make sure that we catch a problem before it starts.
Okay, and I'll ask the judge, how does this all begin? How do people become somebody that, they need to visit and take care of and make sure they're doing okay?
Well, from that standpoint, it's unfortunately part of the progression of life, right? We're all living through that and going through it, and it's usually family may have moved out of town, there's less people close to them, and they have a guardian. Take care of someone who needs to make medical decisions. It's usually just about taking care of who you are, right? Making sure you're in a good place and a decent place, and the doctors are doing what they need to do, and then the Angel program is more about checking on that whole process, not necessarily being the guardian. They don't have to give their consent. They're like I look at it both as the friend and the eyes and ears of the court is what it's been called many times, but it's just someone to come in and say, hi, you're not alone. There are people that care about you in this world, and, maybe you're not as agile and active as you used to be, and you're living in a more confined situation, so people care. They want to see you and say hello. On the other side of it, it's a little bit about, are you getting the care? Is your guardian, right? You could have a family member who does live out of town, potentially, who signed up to get consent, and they're not as active, their lives are busy, or for other reasons the guardian's struggling. So we look at that and see how they're doing, what the care is.
Okay, and so you find out the folks who need the help. How do you go about deciding who, when, where, and all those things?
Yeah.
Because there's probably a lot of people out there,
There are.
right?
We have about 2,200.
Wow.
That was our latest count, I think.
About 22 to 2,500 guardianships open at any one time.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yes, yeah. And the goal is, we would love to get everyone visited once a year, and that's part of the reason why we're here is we always need more volunteers, more help to get out there, because that's a lot spread throughout the whole county. But we go on based on their last visit date, but we also look at, we know that some folks are taking, are in better conditions than others. So we try to prioritize some of the ones that maybe we know are in potentially, more
A tougher
yeah,
situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to put
Yeah.
that, but yeah. So we do rank it by that, and then we look at, like I said, when was the last time they were visited. The other nice thing is with our volunteers, of course, we're spread out through all the counties. We have some that live in Alliance. I'm not going to send them over to visit someone over in Massillon. Okay. You can stay right in your own community and see, your own neighbors. And so, depending on where our volunteers are at, some might get visited more often than others.
Okay, and so what's the responsibility of the volunteer? What do they have to do?
Yeah, so that we go, and first off, we contact the guardian and make sure that all their contact information is correct, because it's sometimes hard to get and keep updated. So they contact the guardian, make sure that they're doing well. That are they getting the resources and care that or the help that they need to be a guardian for the ward. And also ask how they're feeling about the ward situation and that, make sure they're visiting. And then we set up a visit with them, and we'd like to get the guardian and ward at the same time. That's not always possible. And when I say ward, it's a internal jargon, but that means somebody who's under guardianship.
Okay.
But so we try to get them to set up a visit at the same time so we can see the interaction, make sure the ward is happy with the guardian, and we set up a visit. We go and we visit, be a visitor, asking questions. We keep say, oh, you like the Cleveland Browns, and we talk about, everything like that. And then we go and we check to make sure that there's no bed sores or any obvious signs of abuse, neglect, or exploitation. And then our volunteers fill out a report, and they submit it to the court, and I read it, and I send it up to the magistrates if there's a big problem, and ultimately to the judge if, something needs to be done.
Okay. And Randy, I'm going to bring you into this conversation because as a volunteer, how long have you been doing this? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I started volunteering right after COVID. I belong to the Louisville Rotary, and a couple of the folks from the probate court group, Morgan and Caitlin, came to our group about 5 years ago and spoke to our group. And after that, I spoke to them. They gave me an application, completed that, and then I spoke to a Zoom call with Judge Park at the time. And then after that, she said, yeah, you look like you could probably do this job. And then there was a gentleman, he was the bailiff for Judge Park and kind of ran the program prior to Bruce. His name was Tim Smith. Mm-hmm. And Tim and I went out and made several calls one afternoon, and he said, I think you can do this too. So all of a sudden,
you're in.
Yeah, I'm in. And there's a young lady down at the office, Destiny Cooper, who does a absolutely amazing job keeping track of all the paperwork and the reports and the mail, because what you look at, we have different types of reports, a guardian, an expert evaluation, and so on. And, they're coming and going by mail and so on. And, like Bruce said, if there's 2,200 or 2,300 people, you multiply that anytime maybe times two, and there's close to 5,000 reports floating around. So, she does an amazing job of keeping everything the way it's supposed to be, organized, and she'll provide the cases, and then I try to go out each week, and I try to make anywhere from 5, maybe 7 calls in a week, depending upon timing and so on. Bruce has done a really great job of streamlining the reports. When I first started, we had a report that we did afterwards that was about 8 pages. And it probably took, when I first started, about 30 minutes. And now it's a 5-page report, and it's slimmed down greatly. So now it probably takes me 15 minutes because I'm pretty good at it now. But, it's just so much easier. And, the rewards of going out and talking to these people and understanding what they're going through, trying to find common ground with them, and making sure that they're being properly cared for. 95% of the people that we see are very well cared for, but it's maybe that 5% that sometimes just need some help. Whether it's health or making sure that their living facilities are the way they should be. It's all about trying to take care of the people in our community.
Now, as a volunteer, I would imagine that, maybe it's a little frightening for some people. Maybe somebody out there right now is saying, I don't know if I can do this. Tell them why that's not necessarily the case.
Well, the beauty of this program, when you've got, let's say, 2,200 wards to visit, is there are a variety of different places to go. If someone's not comfortable going out and knocking on a door, they can go to a nursing home. And we have lots and lots of wards in nursing homes. And, I've been to, I don't know how many different nursing homes over the last few years, but you can go all those places and you've got the nurses. Usually the guardian will show up and talk to the ward with you. So that's a really safe place to go to get started, to get your feet wet. A lot of the calls might be the ward might live with the guardian, so you're going to a home, which is okay too. But the nursing home is really the place to start. At least that would be my suggestion.
Okay, very good. Well, we have a lot more to talk about. We're going to take our first break. Again, Stark County Probate Court, the Angel Program, will fill you in on how maybe you can become a volunteer, what it takes to do that. That's all coming up on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Did you know June is World Elder Abuse Awareness Month? Here in Stark County, we are dedicated to raising awareness and preventing abuse, neglect, and exploitation of older adults. Join the Stark County Probate Court and the SMART team at the 15th Annual Justice for All Seminar this Friday at First Christian Church in Canton at 9 a.m. Did I mention there will be free lunch? This seminar is approved for CEU and Guardian training hours. Registration is free and required at eventbrite.com. Just search Justice for All Seminar. Attorneys wishing to receive CLE credits can register through the Stark County Bar Association for a fee.
Craving fresh, made-from-scratch pizza? Head to Camelone, serving Stark County since 2016. At Camelone, they make their dough daily, chop their own vegetables, grind tomatoes for sauce, and grate their own cheese, because fresh is what they do. Enjoy New York-style pizza, Stark County's best strombolis, wings, subs, pasta, desserts, salads, and pizza by the slice. Find Camelone at 4630 Cleveland Avenue Northwest in Canton. Call 330-754-6995. Camelone. Come taste the difference.
Head on over to 330deals.com and score $50 in gift cards to Camelone for just $25. Stark County's best strombolis, New York-style pizza, pasta, jumbo wings, salads, and desserts. 4630 Cleveland Ave Northwest, or call 330-754-6995. Camelone. Fresh ingredients, delicious taste. Don't wait, these deals are going to go fast. Grab yours now at 330deals.com.
When it comes to your well water, don't trust just anyone. Trust the experts at Adams & Sons Pump Service. For over 70 years, we've been serving Northeast Ohio with high-quality water well drilling, reliable well pump repairs and replacements, and top-notch water treatment systems like softeners and iron filters. Whether you're looking for a new well, need your current pump repaired, or want to make sure your water is clean and safe, Adams & Sons has you covered. We take pride in good, honest work you can rely on, and we're there for you every step of the way. Don't wait for problems to get worse. Call the trusted team at Adams & Sons today. Our experienced professionals are ready to provide fast, reliable service for your water needs. Call 330-904-8402 or text us to schedule your service now. That's 330-904-8402. Adams & Sons Pump Service, the clear choice for your water needs. That's 330-904-8402. When you need water, you need Adams & Sons. Call today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger. For the ones who get it done.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC on this very first day of June, believe it or not. And we're talking about the Stark County Probate Court's Angel Program. We have Program Director Bruce Stacy with us, volunteer Randy Starr, and of course, Stark County Probate Court Judge Kurt Warren. Judge, I want to ask you, from your perspective, what's the importance of this program?
I think the important, it's just, again, being out there, seeing people. When you talk about 2,000 or more cases,
yeah,
there's no way they're all coming to court. We're going to get the difficult cases, and we're going to talk about those and some repeats and what's happening. And could be struggling issues at home, could be struggling with the condition. I think we didn't touch on this a little bit, but several of our people that we oversee, they may have an intellectual or physical disability.
Okay.
So they could be just over 18, to the end of life. Anywhere in that range, they could be subject to guardianship. Usually starts with their parents, right? The difficulty of raising a child with a disability is you're going to be a parent for a lot longer. And even in those situations, all different family types, all different dynamics, large families, small families, some families with means, some who struggle to get by. So they need every asset they can. Sometimes someone just to visit and say, are you getting all your benefits, right? Are you getting everything you need? We can surround people with services, but do they know about them?
Yeah.
Are they taking advantage of them? So it's that kind of, are we having a touch point? Because when we lose someone, that can be the ones we worry about, right? If we worry about someone younger who has a disability, are they being cared for properly, right? Not being shut in, not being neglected, getting all the out socially and getting work opportunities. And someone who may be older in a nursing home. I think in the news media and in public thought, we really pay attention to nursing homes and possibility of abuse and exploitation, neglect. We see that more often. We're familiar with that, but it can happen through all the range of what we do. And there's just no one out there, right? You don't have a police force that's saying, well, what are you doing? It's kind of like you're being a parent again, and you have your own life. So do you have time? Sometimes it's very simple. Do you have time to do this? Maybe you had that child, but now you've aged.
Yeah.
And do you really have the skill set, the time, the ability? You might need taken care of and not be required to take care of someone else. And sometimes, again, just that touch point to come back to the court and say, you need to review this. You may need to talk to this person and say, there's other options so you both are healthy. And again, we hope it keeps the nursing homes on track, right? Oh, someone outside. Oh, the court. They represent
They're
the
visiting,
court. They're
yes.
coming in. We better be on our best behavior. Are we going to catch things? Maybe not. But the fact you're there may be preventing.
Yeah.
And so it's all those different things. That's what the court gets out of it is there's a kind of a shared responsibility with the community, with guardians to say, are we doing the best we can? Are we keeping an eye on things and trying to find those very, very small number of cases where there might be a need for more intervention by the court.
Right.
So
right.
It covers all of that. In addition, as I said earlier, just being a friend.
Yeah. So talk about becoming a volunteer.
Yeah.
Requirements, things like that.
Yeah. So we, our volunteers come from a wide breadth of backgrounds. We have, retired law enforcement. We have teachers, social workers. We have guardians, actually. They, of course, they can't visit their own, their own wards, but we have. So we're really open and flexible. We have an application. It's online, starkcountyohio.gov/probate/volunteers. But also, if you just Google search Court Angel Program,
yeah, it comes right up.
Yeah, my name goes all the. I get all the spam calls. It's great. But we have an online application. We make it very easy. We run a background check to make sure that the folks that we're sending out should be, visiting these folks. And we do a background check. We'll come bring you in, do an orientation with me, show you how the process all works, and then you'll come and visit me, shadow me on a visit, usually in a nursing home, group home, until you're comfortable going out on your own. Then we'll get you ready to send out and take your own cases.
Wow. And I ask Randy about being afraid or that kind of thing, because I could imagine you could be apprehensive. How do you help a person get through that? Especially if they're listening right now and going, I'd like to, but.
Yeah. The nice thing is we're very flexible. So like Randy said, we'll give you the case, or you can come out and pick cases. And if you're looking at it and says, when you see the diagnosis or maybe the area that it's in, or maybe you don't want to do, live with guardians, you'd rather stay in the nursing homes, you can decline a case. And we have plenty of volunteers and staff that will, pick it up and continue that case. So we'll take as much help as we can get. Like I said, if you just want to stay in your neighborhood, in your zip code, and do nursing homes, that's great, because we have plenty of wards in that situation that need visits. So I'll never send you somewhere that you don't want to go. You can always send back a case. And
I wonder, there might be people that would rather go visit females or a male.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any reason that you turn it down, even if you call the guardian, you get weird vibes, bring it back to me. We always say too, sometimes it's hard to get a hold of folks, like I said, I get all the spam calls and So I don't answer my phone a lot. And so to have someone call and say, hey, I'm from the court, they might not call you back. And so if you're calling and you don't get any answer, we say, send it back and we'll have somebody go out. Usually it's Randy because he's our rock star. He's a little too humble to say. He's doing all of our harder cases and, tracking people down. But yeah, we don't want to waste anybody's time,
Because you won't not visit without the guardian there? Is that how it works?
They don't have to be there, but we
Okay.
we always let them know that we're going to be there, unless, of course, there's a situation where they're not getting back to us and, we have reason to believe that we should be going in there.
Should
But,
go there,
but it's
yeah.
not going to be a volunteer that does that. We have staff that we also know that some of our more difficult cases, we don't assign those out to the volunteers. We have staff that go out and do those ones.
Okay. And Randy, how long of your time do you spend with each person?
It depends on the situation and the person. Kind of like what Bruce said too, I don't go visit a ward without someone else being there.
Mm-hmm.
It can be the guardian. If it's a group home, it can be one of the workers at the group home, or it can be a caregiver. We have a number of caregiving companies in Starr County that actually come in 24/7 and look after some of the wards that really need help. But normally, you're probably looking at anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes. Most of our wards, that's long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them have a pretty short attention span.
Yeah.
And, like Bruce said, I've been fortunate. I've visited wards that were 18 years old, usually with their parents. I've also visited older folks that one lady was 103 years old. Wow. And, just going there and, you have the guardian there and you have a nice conversation and everything's great. But, that's just kind of the nature of this. There's so many varieties of calls that you can go out on and see and talk to people, and it really is kind of fun. I had one last week where the lady was in her 80s, and she had just been diagnosed with cancer 2 days prior to my visit. And she came out, and she was as positive, and she brought her Bible out, and she talked to me and talked about her church, about her minister. And it was like, this cancer's no big deal. And, I left there probably more uplifted than she was.
Yeah.
And she was just so nice and so positive. And, you don't always see that in people, after a diagnosis like that.
Right. So I would guess that's probably one of the benefits for you, just the people that you get to meet.
Yeah, I get to meet a lot of people, and it's amazing in the community how many people you get to know. I've been doing this for about 5 years, so I'm on probably round 3 of visiting a number of people, and they are very comfortable. Oh, hey, it's you. Yeah, sure. What time you want to come over tomorrow or whatever? And, as opposed to the first time that you call someone, they don't know who you are. And a lot of times the ward thinks that you're there for something other than just a friendly visit. And so you try to, the first thing I try to do is reassure the ward, there's nothing wrong. We're just here to check on you. We want to make sure that you're getting 3 meals a day, that you're healthy, your medication's being taken care of, you're getting good socialization. Maybe there's an opportunity for that person to attend a day hab, to get out in the community and either work or just be someplace with other people of like mind to help them feel comfortable. I've been told by a lot of wards that when they go to a day hab during the day, that the most exciting part of it is the van ride. They get to get in a van, and I had one a couple weeks ago, lived in Louisville, and they had a van ride over to Navarre every day. And I said, that's a long way, isn't it? Oh, it's great. I get to see this and that. And occasionally we go stop for ice cream or whatever. And, that's the highlight of their day.
See,
So it's
that's the things we take for granted, right?
the things that we take for granted, a lot of times our wards, that's a special treat for them.
That's pretty awesome. All right, we're going to take our break for the news right now. And when we come back, we'll talk more about the Starr County Probate Court Angel Program here on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
In Stark County, some adults need a little extra protection and support. That's where the Stark County Probate Court's Court Angel Volunteer Visitor Program comes in. Court Angels are volunteers who simply check in on adults under guardianship, visiting them in nursing homes, group homes, or private residences to make sure they're safe, cared for, and treated with dignity. No courtroom experience is needed. Assignments are flexible and local to your area. To learn more about becoming a Court Angel volunteer, contact the Stark County Probate Court today by calling 330-451-7127.
The opening bell on WHBC is brought to you by Ameriprise, the Great Lakes Advisory Group. Call Jason Clemens or Brian Lake today for a free financial consultation at 330-493-0063.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Nearly 1,000 UAW members at the American Axle Dow Corporation plant in Three Rivers, Michigan are on strike after negotiations with the company broke down. Members of Local 2093 claim they're done making concessions and say it's been 18 years since they've been fairly paid. Union officials say the workers' pay was drastically cut during the Great Recession to keep the company alive and has only increased about $4 over the past 18 years. It makes key parts for the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra trucks. Crude oil prices are higher. Brent crude at $94 a barrel, West Texas Intermediate at $90 after the U.S. attacked Iranian sites and Iran shot down a U.S. drone, though the U.S. says negotiations are still continuing. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
What are you working towards? A comfortable retirement? College for the kids? Protecting what you've built? The Great Lakes Advisor Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, helps individuals and families bring clarity and confidence to their financial lives. Ameriprise Private Wealth Advisor Jason Clemens and Ameriprise Financial Advisor Brian Lake focus on long-term relationships, ongoing guidance, and a plan designed to help you navigate both the expected and the unexpected with confidence. Call Great Lakes Advisor Group today at 330-493-0063 to schedule your complimentary initial consultation. That's 330-493-0063. Office is located at 4481 Munson Street Northwest, Suite 304, Canton, Ohio. Not FDIC or NCUA insured. No financial institution guarantee. May lose value. The initial consultation provides an overview of financial planning concept. You will not receive written analysis and or recommendations. Securities offered by Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Are you ready to accelerate towards your dreams with a new car, ATV, boat, or some extra cash for personal needs? This is Tiffany Kim, Banking Center Manager at the Commercial and Savings Bank, here to help you fund your next adventure. Our team of experts is committed to finding the right solution for you with competitive rates, flexible terms, and personalized service. Visit csb1.com to apply online or give us a call at 800-654-9015 to speak with a loan specialist and discover the CSB Advantage. The Commercial and Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Struggling to find your estradiol patch? You're not alone. A nationwide shortage has left many women without access to their prescribed hormone therapy. At the Medicine Center Pharmacy, we have a solution. Our compounding pharmacy can prepare a custom estradiol cream tailored to your needs. We work directly with you and your prescriber to convert your current dose and get you back on therapy fast. No waiting and no guesswork. Call the Medicine Center Pharmacy today at 330-339-4466 or visit us online at medshoprx.com. Medicine Center Pharmacy, personalized solutions when you need them the most.
Back by popular demand, pros pick DuraCube or Red Out Softener Salt is buy 12, get one free at Verndale Water Experts. Stop in or convenient home delivery available.
Verndale's Water Center.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC Newsroom, a Cleveland murder case that went unsolved for more than a decade is finally heading to trial. Jury selection set to begin in the case of 21-year-old Brandon Cardellone, who was found dead in his Tremont apartment back in 2011. Prosecutors say Deontay Davis and Jawan Nettles tied up, robbed, and killed Cardellone during a drug-related robbery. The Postal Service has a warning about man's best friend, who is not necessarily a friend of postal carriers. They're warning dog owners to take extra precautions after more than 5,000 mail carriers were attacked nationwide last year. Ohio ranked third in the country for dog attacks on postal workers with 287 reported incidents. Cleveland alone recorded 30 attacks, and that ranks among the top 10 cities nationwide. In sports, the Guardians lost to the Red Sox yesterday 9-4. They're off tonight. Open up a series in New York against the Yankees tomorrow night. In the NBA, the finals begin Wednesday as the San Antonio Spurs host the New York Knicks. Tip-off set for 8:30. Stanley Cup finals in the NHL begin tomorrow. Golden Knights at the Carolina Hurricanes. And the Division III semifinal girls softball game between Mansfield Madison Comprehensive and Louisville is all set for Friday at 10 a.m. We'll have that game for you. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Today will be pleasant with some sunshine peeking through the clouds, reaching a high of 74. Tonight, expect a clear sky with a low of 50. Tomorrow is set to be partly sunny and enjoyable with the high of 75, while tomorrow night will be mainly clear with a low of 51. Looking ahead to Wednesday, anticipate mostly sunny skies and delightful weather with a high of 77. Wednesday night will remain mainly clear with a low of 54. With the AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight, again live on Facebook, live on our YouTube channel this morning, talking about Stark County Probate Court's Angel Program with Program Director Bruce Stacy, volunteer Randy Starr, and Stark County Probate Court Judge Kurt Warren. And maybe, Bruce, you can tell us a little bit, are there misnomers about, what volunteers are required to do or those kinds of things? Do you find that happening?
Yeah, I go out, I'll go to the senior health fairs and that to recruit volunteers. And, with the name Court Angel, I think a lot of people, when you hear the name court, you think law and order
Scared,
and,
yes.
criminal court, but probate court is a lot different than that. And despite being in the name, volunteers, they don't go into a courtroom, like I said, we're out visiting the community, and I think just that name, they see that and like, why does the probate court need volunteers? I think they think they're going to be like a volunteer expert witness or something in a case, but that's not the case. We're
You're
out
the
there,
angel part.
Exactly. We're out there, just like I said, being a friend, making sure that no one gets, swift through the cracks there.
And Judge Warren, I'm going to ask you the legal part of it. I mean, what is, what does the probate court do, and why does this program happen? How long do I have, right?
Right. In this instance, for of the 600 things we do, the guardianship is a very important part. It's much larger. It continues to grow in what we do. They always talk about the court is the superior guardian, meaning when we find someone, and we still use legal terms, competent, incompetent. So it's a legal standing that, you don't maybe have the ability to handle your own affairs. It could be anything from, again, a disability, ravages of life, health, even a short-term disability, per se, of an illness, and you're recovering. Someone could have a stroke. Typically, you might boil down to can't make decisions as a typical adult. You could be subject to abuse, exploitation, neglect. You could just be not having difficulty making decisions, understanding doctor's advice. You work against your own interest. So we're taking away their liberty to some extent. And that's what the court's standpoint is. We balance the Constitution. Everyone can be free to make horrible decisions in life, and we don't want to judge them on their decision making, but we want to know they're making proper, well-informed decisions. And when you have struggles with that, we find you are incompetent. You're then appointed a guardian. You are then considered a ward. These are the legal terms. And it's someone there to help make decisions for you. You have to get permission. You want to ask your guardian, can I buy, sell? You get maybe it's a change in life, or maybe you're on Social Security and those benefits go to help pay for your housing, and you don't have as much say, but you get an allowance, get to spend it freely. So the court has to balance all that. So a volunteer may come in and go, this person's not living the way I would, right? Or the right, or if this was my child. And we have to balance that against, okay, but what are their rights? What's the Constitution? Even though we've taken away their liberty, we try and give them as much of that back to fulfill their uniqueness and their right to live as they choose, while protecting them against bad decisions, protecting them from people who pray for them, making sure if it's a guardianship where they have assets, money, well, then we have someone manage that money, which is great. Here's your money. We can see how far it takes you, how the care it's going to provide for you, what other benefits it can provide you, maybe a vacation that other people can't take. And
Yeah.
so that's rare, but it's great to have it when you have a guardianship estate. But typically, guardianship of the person, just caring for your health and welfare,
Protection,
your
right?
everyday thing. But the court's role is to balance what we see is are they making good and bad decisions. Again, I can make sure you know about the envelope of services your community, society will provide you, but I can't always force you to accept them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that is really our role, balancing that, hearing from the guardian versus the ward sometimes. The ward's like, I don't like what my guardian is saying. I don't like the limitations they're putting on my life. Well, hearing about their struggles, their diagnosis, what the guardian is fighting for, not fighting for, trying to put everyone in the best. Hopefully they're making informed, good decisions, but putting them in the best frame of light we can. And that's what we do.
And we've all binge watched Law and Order, and this is a lot less dramatic, right? I mean, for the most part.
I would disagree to the extent that there's a lot of drama. A lot of drama, a lot less of that boom boom. What's the decision and what's the jury going to do?
Yeah.
And a lot more of
Let's help
parent
you.
sibling.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
Again, Randy's talking about might go to someone who's 104.
Mhm.
They can still get upset. They can get upset with who's providing their care, who comes in.
Oh,
They can get upset
yes.
with the food that's being provided, right? But we deal with a lot of times families are the guardian, parent, sibling, cousin, niece, child taking care of someone. And family's family.
Yes,
Right? So
that's
there's,
right.
to say there's no drama, no, there's drama.
Okay, I'm glad that I said that. And Bruce, you mentioned about not going into the courtroom, volunteers. Explain that a little bit. How does it work if you find something on the report?
Yeah, so, anything, we have the report here, and it basically says, we have a lot of questions, and it says, okay, these are the things that we're looking for. And on the report, you put anything that you see out of the ordinary. And it comes back to me, and then once you submit that report, it's out of your hands as a volunteer. You've done your job as kind of as the eyes and the ears,
Okay.
and then it comes to me, I send it up to the magistrates, and again, if it rises to the level that, we need to bring someone in, then we could call them in for a case management conference or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, once the volunteer submits it, it's out of. You're not a case manager on someone's case.
Right.
You pick some cases to go and visit. You do the visit, and then you return to the court, and then you never have to talk to that person again. It's not on the case. Yeah. It's all on me basically. It's basically the court angel director is the one that or the court angel department
Takes
is
the
one that,
next step.
Yeah, made the report.
Okay.
Yeah.
Randy, you have the forms right there. Let's talk about the questions. Is that the report that you fill out, those that are in front of you right now?
Yeah, we have the ability to either hand fill out reports and then turn them in, or go online and get the information and simply, do a computer report basically. And I'm one of those people that would much rather work on a computer than write a bunch of stuff down, because if I'm talking to you and interviewing you and to see how you're doing, I don't want to say, hey, well, wait a minute while I write this down or write that down. I want to have a conversation with the ward as opposed to, stopping and starting. But we want to, know, how long have you lived here, for example? Are you getting your 3 meals a day? Is the refrigerator, does it have food in it? Is your room clean? Do you do chores, or does someone in the home take care of your chores for you? I kiddingly say a couple of the folks that I've been to, oh, they do the chores for you and they cook for you, so you're living in a hotel, right? And they kind of giggle and laugh at me and say, yeah, kind of. But, again, medications, I don't need to know the medications that they're on, but how many meds do you take on a daily basis? Do you manage your own meds? Does someone else manage your meds? Are you making sure that you have your meds in the morning and in the evening? Because a lot of the folks that we're dealing with here, if they're off their meds for 2 or 3 days, they're a whole different person than if they're taking their meds. And we've all seen the differences with people.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that they have their meds. just and try to find out information about them. What do you like to do? Are you a hobby person? Do you like crafts? Do you like to watch TV? Do you have an iPad, for example? I always ask that. Just to see what level of technology they might be at, and they'll usually say, "Oh yeah, I watch YouTube," or I do this, and you're trying to find things where you have some middle ground to talk to these people about, because a lot of times when you walk in, many of the folks that we're dealing with might deal with some anxiety, for example. So the sooner that you can make them feel comfortable talking to you, hopefully then they'll open up to you and give you the information that you need. I always want to have either the guardian there or a caretaker or someone else there, because sometimes, we might be dealing with someone who has issues with speech or something, or they have dementia. They might tell you that, yesterday I just got off an airplane, came back from Miami, and I'll look at the guardian or look at the caretaker, and they're shaking their heads. No, that did not happen. So, you want to try to make sure what the level of kind of competency and the information that you're getting from that ward.
Yeah, and go ahead.
I was going to say, and I want to go back to what Randy was saying too with the online report, and you talked about, asking what do you got to do in the court. So we really if you've heard about us before, maybe you tried us out, we really modernized the program. We've done a lot more online and digital. So once you come in and have your orientation with me, you don't need to come into the court, to pick up cases at all. I email, or Destiny emails Randy his cases every week. And you can submit that form in online, so you don't need to come in and drop things off. Now, if you're more comfortable doing that, that's great. I love having visitors in the office. I get lonely down there. But like I said, some people don't like driving in, paying to park in downtown Canton.
Right.
We also have satellite office hours out in Massillon at the Government and Justice Center on Fridays from 1 to 3. Have a couple volunteers out there that they'll come in there, they'll pick up cases and drop them off. So we try to be flexible, and again, and be modern with digital technology.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And when you pick up a report to go out and make a call, you're supplied with what's called a guardian report. And the guardian has filled out that report, hopefully in the last 12 to 15 months. So you get some information about the ward. And then there's also what we call an expert evaluation report. And that report tells you a little bit about the situation, so that when you're going out and knocking on somebody's door to see someone, you kind of know what that person has and what's going on. So you kind of know how to talk to that person and how to deal with them.
Not surprised by anything. For sure.
No, you don't want a surprise.
No. All right, we have our final break, and we'll be back. We'll wrap things up, talk more about how you can become a volunteer for the Court Angel program. And again, Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC.
Did you know June is World Elder Abuse Awareness Month? Here in Stark County, we are dedicated to raising awareness and preventing abuse, neglect, and exploitation of older adults. Join the Stark County Probate Court and the SMART team at the 15th Annual Justice for All Seminar this Friday at First Christian Church in Canton at 9 a.m. Did I mention there'll be free lunch? This seminar is approved for CEU and Guardian training hours. Registration is free and required at eventbrite.com. Just search Justice for All Seminar. Attorneys wishing to receive CLE credits can register through the Stark County Bar Association for a fee.
Hi, this is Jim Snyder of the Your Wealth, Your Retirement program, a financial education show for those seeking guidance. Are you retiring soon? Are you in the middle of changing jobs? Maybe you're just done with all of that risk in the 401k plan and you'd like to have a discussion about an early rollout. Maybe you're 70 and a half and you're in your income phase of your IRA. We can help you with all those. Give us a call at Senior Financial Group at 800-639-0824. That's 800-639-0824.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and covered selections.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Granger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Granger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Human trafficking is happening in Ohio. Our state ranks among the top 10 in the nation for reported cases. We must do better. And as governor, Vivek Ramaswamy will protect Ohioans and deliver justice for victims.
Human traffickers are predators who should be behind bars for decades. Teresa Flores knows that more than anyone, and together we're fighting to end this crisis.
As a child, I was forced into sex slavery. No child should experience that. That's why I'm supporting Vivek Ramaswamy. Because Vivek gave survivors like me a voice.
Ramaswamy served as an executive producer on a film that shined a light on human trafficking, and he has been a staunch advocate for using every means possible to raise awareness and end this crime.
As governor, Vivek will lock up human traffickers, protect our children, and deliver justice. Let's end this evil for good with Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And our final segment this morning, and we're going to give you more information here in a few minutes about how you can volunteer for the Court Angel program for the Stark County Probate Court. But we want to talk a little bit about the fact that June is World Elder Abuse Month, and you guys have things going on, don't you?
Yeah, so this Friday we have Elder Abuse Awareness Seminar. It's called Justice for All, and it's going to be up at First Christian Church off of Market Avenue here in Canton. And it's going to be a great event. It's the 15th annual this year. We've been doing this for a while, and we have some great speakers coming in to just talk about all, everything from elder abuse and in long-term care facilities. We're going to talk about guardianships. I'll be there presenting about the Court Angel program, so if you want to hear more, I'll be there. Yeah, I got jokes.
I got jokes.
Yeah, but
might not be good ones, people.
We got members from the Stark County Sheriff's Department, the Grove City Police, just everywhere talking about scams, and it's a great program and seminar. So
is it free, or do we need
it
to?
Is free.
Okay.
Yes.
Should you register?
You should register. Yep, on Eventbrite. So if you go to eventbrite.com, just search up Justice for All. As long as I think you put in the Canton area, you should be able to find it pretty easy. And you can register. There's free lunch. So
hey,
there
you go.
Stop in for a free lunch.
Absolutely.
Free. If you're a guardian, you need a continuing education.
Oh, okay.
So you get some hours for that as well, free.
Oh, very good.
To get your guardianship hours in, your continuing training every year.
That's great. And you also wanted to put the little spotlight on our good friend
So
Randy.
we brought Randy's in here today, and he's selling our program because he's
amazing.
Extremely good volunteer who can give all this energy, time. It's amazing. And so April was volunteer awareness. There's a month for everything, but we recognize volunteers, and Bruce can talk more, but there's an Ohio department called Serve Ohio. Right?
Yeah.
And they like to recognize some top volunteers in our state. And Randy got that award this year. One of the, yes.
All right. Congratulations. That's
nominated
awesome.
by Bruce and our program. But basically, if you could talk for hours to Randy about everything else he does in his life and what he'll be doing when he leaves here, but in recognition for what he does for our program and what he does for the Stark County community, and we submitted all that information, and one of, I think, 4 or 5 in the entire state that's recognized as a top volunteer.
Wow. That's pretty great. But it's obvious by, you talking about it, Randy, because you obviously enjoy it, and it has become part of your daily life, right?
Yeah, it's part of my daily life, a routine. I get my reports that Destiny or Bruce send me on usually Friday afternoon, and I print the reports off and take a couple hours on the weekend and go through them and analyze them and try to plan the visits, and then going out and making the phone calls or the texts. A lot of times these days, texting seems to work more to communicate with people than does making telephone calls. So I schedule the visits, and then I try to, get everything planned, figure out where I'm going. I kind of traverse the county off and on for different places and try to fill in where we need help recruiting and finding volunteers. So, figure out where you're going and then make the calls and, on to the next one. And then usually the next morning I get up and I get the computer program online and submit all the information to the court, to Bruce, and off to the next ones.
Yeah. And very rewarding for you, correct?
Yeah, I just enjoy talking to people, being able to see what's going on in people's lives. And, sometimes you find stuff that needs attention. Most of the time you don't. It also depends on the types of calls that you're making, too. Like I said before, if you're going to a nursing home, it's just a nice personal visit, and there are other cases that might need a little more attention, but this is a great opportunity for someone who's retiring or retired. Say, what am I going to do with all my time? I hear from a lot of my friends, I've retired and I don't know what to do, so I'm going to go work at Target or I'm going to go work at Walmart and be a door greeter. And I tell them, I said, hey, there's other things you can be doing. These folks, a lot of them, they don't necessarily need the money, but let's do something in your life that's going to be more rewarding for you than just shaking hands with somebody at a door.
Yeah.
And this makes a difference in the community. We're taking care of a population in Stark County that needs help and needs attention, and this does it.
If that doesn't give you a reason to sign up, then nothing will. That's for sure. Bruce, give us the information one more time on how folks sign up.
Yeah, and also I'll say too, it's great for retirees. It's also great for students too. There's a lot of, if you're going to law school, you need pro bono hours. Again, it's a flexible opportunity, so it's great. You don't need to be here on site. You need volunteer hours. So if you or somebody out there that needs volunteer hours, we got some training in that up front, but then it's really easy to get your stuff in. But yeah, you can apply online at www.starkcountyohio.gov/probate/volunteers. Or you can give me a call, and I'll give you more information, 330-451-7127.
Very
That'll
easy.
Get you right to me.
And if you search Stark County Probate Court Angels Program, it'll come right up.
Yes.
I found it.
That's my secret. Just Google.
Just
ask
Google.
Just
Dr. Google,
I'm
Mr.
supposed today to
Google.
just ask chat, but get me to the Court Angel program, please, and you'll get there.
There you go. That's it. Well, thank you for coming in today. This was awesome. Lots of great information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In Stark County, some adults need a little extra protection and support. That's where the Stark County Probate Court's Court Angel Volunteer Visitor Program comes in. Court Angels are volunteers who simply check in on adults under guardianship, visiting them in nursing homes, group homes, or private residences to make sure they're safe, cared for, and treated with dignity. No courtroom experience is needed. Assignments are flexible and local to your area. To learn more about becoming a Court Angel volunteer, contact the Stark County Probate Court today by calling 330-451-7127.